Hey guys, Razan Neku here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the best game I have ever played in my entire life so far. And that's actually saying something. I've been the biggest fan of Hakuoki, and I just found a game that that beats Hakuoki for me. And that game is Cupid Parasite. I have never come across a game that has made me smile and laugh as much and just enjoy it as much as Hakuoki did. But why is that? Let's go ahead and review Cupid Parasite. We'll be going over the common route, take a look at each character individually, the gameplay, and any bonuses that the game has. I will say right now, the opening of Cupid Parasite is already one of my favorite things. You can already see that they did so much in this. So even just the intro alone already just has me floored. It's one of the first things that got me really interested in the game. Not to mention like the art on top of that, all of the colors, lack really of like black lines around it. It's just so vibrant. I can't even like fathom everything. Did I mention the music? Yeah, the music was top notch, of course. As well, it was just so immersive I almost even like forgot to mention it. Let's go ahead and start on what the basis of the story is, the common route. So we play as a character, unless you change your name, to Lynette Mirror. Lynette Mirror works at Cupid Corp. Cupid Corp is a place where you sign up, and basically it's a matchmaking place. And what they hope to do is to help find your perfect match to the point that you fall in love and get married. Again, you play as Lynette, the pink-haired heroine here. Next to her is a good friend of hers named Clarice, who she also is a roommate with. And at Cupid Corp, she is the top-notch coordinator. She has been finding matches left and right, and has been just really good at it, and she's looking for a promotion. But why is she looking for a promotion, you may ask? Well, that's because Lynette Mirror is actually Cupid of the god world. She lives among the gods, and her father, or at least the people that she calls her parents, one of them is Mars, the god of war. He's upset because Cupid hasn't been matching couples as much as she should be in order to increase the rate of marriage. And because she's not doing so good at her job, he's pretty upset about it. And he's constantly getting at her about it. Just like you would do with like kind of like your daughter, like, hey, you need to do better and all this and that. She's trying her best and she's matching people, but they're just not staying together and she doesn't understand why until Cupid herself personally looks into the human world, which Mars does not approve of. There she is finding that people are joining corporations in order to find love and get matched to get married. So then she starts thinking, why are gods even needed if humans can do it themselves and do it even better? She brings this up to Mars, who gets upset about it, and it gets to a point where she decides, you know what, I'm going to the human world, and I'm going to prove him wrong. So she challenges the god of war. Not directly, she just runs off, but in a sense, she is challenging him. She calls the person who she refers to as Minerva about her distress, and Minerva helps her get to the human world. In the human world, she decides to go to college to study the psychology of love, join the biggest corporation, and get the toppest position in there in order to prove Mars wrong. And you know what? Things actually go that way. She's matchmaking left and right. Love is all she talks about, and she made her way to the top pretty quick. So much so that her boss notices and decides to give her an opportunity for a promotion. He brings up people that have been in with the corporation for the longest time but have been extremely unsuccessful in finding matches. Her job is that if she were to find perfect matches for these guys and they end up getting married or finding their goals in this corporation, then she would get promoted. Of course, she jumps on the chance, but she doesn't know exactly who the 5 parasites are that are definitely going to give her a run for her money. And here we have the 5 parasites. You see 6 people, but I'll explain that in a minute. They refer to these guys as parasites because each of them has a very strong situation or problem that prevents them from being able to find a match in this corporation. Let's start with the glamour parasite, Ryuki. He's our gentleman on the left in the green here. Now, as his name states, the glamour parasite, he can't even see people that aren't up to a certain beauty standard. Literally, he can't see them. He either sees them as blobs or certain other shades of color. When he meets a person or blob, he will give an automatic shade, and that tells them how good or bad their looks are, depending on the shade that he gives them. The only reason that he's in Cupid Corp right now is because his grandmother and sister are insisting that if he wants to be the best fashion designer. He has to fall in love and get married. So that's why he's here. He's here to find love, but he's having a hard time because he literally can't see people. And if you take a look at the bottle in his hand, he keeps spraying them if they're not fully hydrated enough. So you can see how that would be a problem. Next down here we have Gil. He is the lovelorn parasite. He's the lovelorn parasite because he can't overcome his first love. His first love being you, Lynette Mirror. Lynette Mirror used to be the roommate of Gil when she first came to the human world. But during that time together, he fell in love with her. But as far as we know and understand, he's in love with Clarice, our other roommate, our other long-haired purple friend here. And because of that, he's a stuck lovelorn parasite. Every time he meets a person, he starts talking about his first love and still can't seem to overcome it. You'd think he would try to confess, but he's had problems with confessing too, so that's why he's one of the parasites. Next here is Shelby Snail. Now with Shelby Snail, he is our boss, but in the first part of the game, we don't know or so that he is the other parasite. He just left his name blank. He is considered the prestige parasite, where he wants to be the best of the best, but because of that, he can't meet people in person, literally. So he asks his assistant, Owen here, to step in and go on the dates for him, talk to them, send email updates and things like that. So that's why our boss is the prestige parasite. You can figure it out pretty quickly in the game too. Next we have Raoul. Raoul is the obsessed parasite. He's a star in a lot of action movies and is extremely popular with women. Unfortunately, as his parasite name states, he is obsessed. He is obsessed with mythology, you know, the Greek mythology that we're in, but he jumps into other mythologies too. He has theories, he goes into a group that he goes to every week, but it's literally all he talks about. The reason that he's here is because he's going to be partaking in a love movie, but he doesn't really know what love is. So he has to fall in love in order to do better acting. And last but not least, the most ever popular Alan, the thieving parasite. Now what he does in the game is that his thing is that he likes to take women that are already taken. So if he finds a woman that's already in love with someone else, he starts trying to take them in a sense, or in his case, in his words, share them, which of course upsets other people, and he starts getting into a lot of trouble. Why is he at Cupid Corp? I have no idea, but you will eventually find out in the game why. But these are all the characters in the game. Normally I try to put characters into categories, but these guys are so individualized that it's kind of hard for me to put them into a category, to be honest. So that's also another interesting part in the game. The characters I can even barely categorize into if they're tsunderas, yanderas, or just really anything like that. Especially once you go through their stories, they have very dynamic personalities. Now, of course, we tried to help all of these guys, but once we do, we start falling into shenanigans. And I'll just say, so much shenanigans that we actually end up on a TV show. Live together in a house and just shenanigans. Shenanigans. I've never played a game before where I have laughed every couple minutes or just in every single chapter because of the stuff that happens in this game. Unfortunately, after the show was done, all of these guys went their separate ways. They all left for some reason or another, and it's from this point that we start actually playing the game, where depending on who you've actually leveled up with, you re-meet these characters and you start going down their storyline. Now the gameplay for this game is very simple. You just read through it and make choices. Another part of it though is that there is a test. You can take the test, just answer 14 questions. Here's a sample look at the questions, and it helps you correlate to a character. Depending on the choices you make, you get a certain character. It doesn't guarantee the route, but it does help along the story. Again, it matters of the combination of choices you make and the results that you get by taking this test. You can also check in here to see how well you're leveling up with the characters. The storyline is simple and easy to follow along. There are a lot of fun, cute, and hilarious moments because of all the shenanigans that happen in the game. At no point was I ever not laughing or smiling at some part of the game. The chapters are also pretty short, so it's pretty easy to get through as well. Just like any other game, you play through the game to unlock a lot of CGs. They have cute stuff, like our little friend down there jumping through all of the seats in the movie theater here. Hi, Chi! You unlock CGs throughout the game, which again are very beautiful because the art style is really great. This pink one here shows the main images, and then case 1, case 2, case 3, and so forth, designating each of the parasites. And as you can see at the very end, There's a 6th Parasite. I will say for this movie portion, I was kind of disappointed. One of my favorite things about this game is the opening, but the ending isn't very interesting. As you can see here, once you unlock each character's route and ending, you get this little closed off section here. There's a sunset happening, you're with the main guy that you've unlocked. You get some CGs that come in. But that's literally about it. It's okay, but the thing that I really don't like about it is that they literally do the same thing for each character. So the first one was Gil, and now we're with Shelby Snail here. Again, there's a sunset, there's water, and they're just gonna bring up more CGs and stuff. But again, one of my favorite parts about this game is the music. Straight up the music. They have different sound effects, they're all really cool. And as for any game, they have theme songs for each character. Us, the Top Bridal Advisor, which is one of my favorites. I could see myself chilling to this music. Gil, every time he shows up. Prestige Parasite. I don't know if it's like from the same generation, but oh my gosh. They really correlate these songs to every character. Even here, if you guys are familiar with music, it has a very Japanese tone, which is where Ryuki's from. He's originally from Japan. So they made a really great soundtrack for him here. And of course our Thieving Parasite, just very strong upfront music. Another thing that the game has is that it has these adorable little chibis. Look at them, they're so chibilicious. Not only do they put the chibis in this game, but once you go through each chapter, they actually bring up who is in each chapter. So in the prologue, Parasite 5, you can see all 5 there. Fate's Call to Promotion, you only see Shelby Snail. And so forth. You know, after Bustafellows came out, once you compare it to other games, it feels like it really doesn't compare, to be honest. Bustafellows has a bunch of like pins that you can unlock, music, stories, and just a bunch of stuff that comes along with the game. So it's kind of hard to compare these games. Bustafellows brought out so much that our original games, where they had CGs, music, and some other small stuff, doesn't really compare. But where this game really stands out is with the art, the music, the characters, and the storyline. It may not have much in regards to content and stuff, but you really can't deny that the artwork is definitely great. The music is there, individualized, the story is hilarious, intriguing, and it's definitely a game that just hasn't really been made like this before. So let's go ahead and start rating this game. So common route-wise, I'd give this a 5 out of 5 toe beans. It was easy to follow along, the chapters were short, so it feels like you're getting through it really quickly, and that's encouraging. There's also a lot of laughter and shenanigans in between, so common route, 5 out of 5 toe beans. For each individual character, I would also give 5 out of 5 toe beans, because as I said before, they're all so very different. It's hard for me to put them into a category of the kind of characters that we usually see in these games. So this kitty is very impressed. I give the gameplay again, another 5 out of 5 toe beans, because it's very simple and straight to the point. As for bonuses in this game, as I said before, it was kind of hard to rate this, because after Bustafellows with all the stuff that they had, it's kind of hard to compare with the regular games. But otherwise, I give it a 3 out of 5 toe beans. I feel like they could have given a little bit more content, but again, I feel like everything was really just put towards the stories, the art, and the music. So overall, I'd give this game 5 out of 5 toe beans. Congrats, Cupid Parasite. It was, again, one of the best games I have ever played, and I would highly recommend this game for a couple reasons. One, if you're new to Otome, I highly recommend this as a starter. There's a lot of shenanigans and just a lot of fun stuff. This is also a really good pick-me-up after you've been playing a couple of dark Otome games. Thank you guys for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the game and the review down below. If you like this video and want to see more, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on anything. I also play these games on my Twitch channel, so go ahead and follow so you don't miss anything and we can chat live in VTuber person. Anyways, my pretty little kitties, I'll see you cool cats later. Yeah, bye!